sun, you could have stayed. It's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New.
Boom.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through color glass, time moves on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shade my smile.
This is Brian Capecott is one of those journalists that I follow who usually report about UK. So he posted this: the Mail on Sunday hates Harry and Meghan and saw the campaign against us as we're getting at them. Read at Alana Stott description of the brutal impact of tabloid viciousness. Don't buy the Mail. All right. So there's an article here. I'm gonna read to you. That's something that Alana Stott wrote. Okay, the link will be in the description. Quote, they didn't care that our well-being was at stake. The paper just attacked. End quote. How the Mail on Sunday smear a world record-holding charity fundraiser and decorated veteran. Okay, by Alana Stott. For 16 years, my husband Dean served with distinction in the Army. The last 5 in the Elite Special Boat Service. He did tours in the Middle East, the Balkans, and Africa. Then one evening in 2010, in the course of a parachute training exercise, his leg got caught in the rigging line as he jumped. The line ripped his leg horribly. The pain was so excruciating that as he descended, he was vomiting in and out of consciousness, and he was lucky to survive the landing. The injuries ended the career he loved. Okay, in the civilian world, Dean struggled to find a purpose. One of the things that had attracted me to him was his incredible kind heart. He was always looking to help others, in particular his fellow soldiers. But now he was the one suffering adrift. He needed a challenge. Cycling helped with his injury, and as a soldier, he had always been super fit. So we had the idea that he should take on a cycling challenge, and not just any cycling challenge, but the Pan American Highway, 14,000 miles from Argentina to Alaska. It was widely ambitious, but we talked to friends who knew Dean's character, and they encouraged us. Prince Harry. One of those friends was Prince Harry. Harry and Dean met on an army training course 14 years ago and have remained good friends ever since. Harry was just then setting up the mental health campaign Heads Together, and he asked if Dean will consider using the cycling challenge to support the new campaign. Dean was delighted. As we getting a little bit bits and pieces about the Heads Fit, we're learning more how involved Harry was of putting this together, and we all knew he was the mastermind behind HeadFits. So there's another portion, another branch of Harry's work and display here. Okay, so Dean was delighted to agree. So this is the thing here: when these people, Harry and Meghan, when one idea pop up, another one keep on adding to it. All right, the thing continue. I had just had our second child, and I was thrilled to see Dean focus on Happy again. So we set about planning the adventures. It was daunting creating social media accounts and launching the fundraising campaign. But after we issued a promotional video with Prince Harry, we were inundated with offers of support. The challenge went brilliantly and almost everywhere. Dean completed his amazing feat in May 2018, breaking 2 world records and becoming the first man in history to cycle the Pan American Highway in under 100 days. Wow. By then, we had already raised more than £500,000 for Heads Together and were well on our way to the million. Wow. I mean, this is what I'm saying. There's so many opportunities for the royal family to step in and say certain things. They just let things pass by. You had this guy serve. I mean, I knew of him, but I didn't know it was that bad. I didn't know that his story was that bad. My goodness. So many missed opportunities. I mean, Harry, whenever he sees opportunity, he just grab it. And there it is, he's grabbed it. Okay, a very skinny and happy Dean returned home in May 2018 in time for us to attend the wedding of Harry and Meghan. Then on the morning of the wedding, I received a text message telling me Dean had been unfaithful. I didn't know the number, and when I called back, the line was dead. Jeez. It wasn't the first incident of this kind, though it was the worst up to that time. I had dreaded telling Dean that while he had been cycling, a hate campaign had been waged against us. This was another part of it. The support team for the challenge had been assembled quickly, and when things got underway, there were some sharp differences of approach and opinion. Dean and I took the view that it was our idea and our challenge, so some people were shown the door. I hope that will be the end of it, but it wasn't. Hate campaign. Anonymous account on social media began attacking us. My goodness, can you imagine that? The amount of energy these people put on hating on people. If they had just put it on some good use. Do you see how far our world would have been? But the energy is focusing so much on hate. You got these young couples, including Harry, Meghan, Dean, and his young family, trying to do good. My goodness, this is crazy. This is crazy. All right, the thing continued. Hate campaign. Anonymous accounts on social media began attacking us, making false accusations. Family, friends, and colleagues received poison pen letters saying amazingly cool things. Supporters and potential donors were warned off. Everything was done to disrupt the challenge. Jesus Christ. So when I got the text message on the royal wedding day, I immediately knew what was behind it. But I thought that with the challenge done and Dean home, the worst was over. How wrong I was. The attack continued, and that November things suddenly escalated when a reporter from the Mail on Sunday rang to ask for comments on claim that Dean had cheated on the bike ride, breaking the rules set by the Guinness World of Record. I felt sick, though I knew it wasn't true. The Guinness people had monitored Dean's entire journey, and all the data were recorded and approved as required. My God. The reporter followed up with an email alleging that Dean had broken Guinness rules by using 2 different bikes. I knew the rules. Parts such as wheels could be replaced fairly freely, but the bike frame could only be changed if it was damaged and the replacement was identical. Dean had traveled with a replacement frame of a permitted kind, but as it happened, he never needed to use it. This is some smart person putting one and one together. Okay, I sent the reporter the guideline and the formal information from Guinness World Record that Dean's entire ride was within their rules. The Mail on Sunday published its story anyway. Prince Harry's Special Forces friend cheated on world record. My God. Alright, even though we had supply proof that this was false, they ran with it. It was true that they had been dispute in the team, but instead of focusing on Dean's huge achievement and all the money raised for charity, the paper presented the whole story as if there was only one side of it and we were entirely in the wrong, burying our response in 2 short paragraphs at the very end. Looking back, I can see what happened. The Mail on Sunday hates Harry and Meghan, and it saw the campaign against us as a way of getting at the royal couple. Jesus Christ. Again, that's another smart cookie here. They didn't care that money for charity was at stake or that our well-being was at stake. They didn't care that we had provided proof we had done nothing wrong. The paper just attacked. Immediately impact. The impact was immediate. Everywhere we turned, we were required to justify ourselves and explain that the Mail on Sunday was wrong. Even family members began doubting us. The hate campaign on social media intensified, and the journalists who wrote the article joined in. Our sponsor stepped back, previous keen to support Dean on his next charity challenge. They said they didn't want to make themselves a target for press attack. Wow. We gotta give Dean's wife a major credit because she stood by him. I mean, that should make the bond between this family and Harry's family stronger because they went through that just because of Meghan. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine that? My goodness. And people in the UK should look into this. You got people who's doing good things and then they're attacking them for doing good things. Okay, Dean was devastated. My daughter was picked on at school with people calling her daddy a cheat. My mental health, if you think about it, look at the other ones. They've been doing that on a daily basis. My God. My mental health deteriorated, and it was at this time that we lost what will have been our 3rd child. Oh my God. We were still working hard to reach our objective of £1 million from the bike ride, but that was getting harder and harder, and when it hit £900,000, we decided to stop to protect our family. Telling you, money is not everything. I always tell you guys that. Money is not everything. Your mental health, nothing can replace that. Okay, the first £500,000 had been donated to Heads Together very publicly, announced in an article in Hello Magazine, giving the campaign of lies and hate against us. However, we chose to transfer the remaining amount without any fanfare. Okay, this only stoked the fires. The haters on social media began to suggest we had kept the money, and they targeted the Office of Scots Charity Regulator, OSCR, demanding we investigate. So it was that in June 2019, we received an email from OSCR saying that due to high level and interest and a number of complaints from unnamed sources, they were opening an inquiry. The energy that is being spent on so many useless things. Okay, another attack by the Mail on Sunday. The Mail on Sunday now struck again with suspicious speed. The very next day, even before the OSCR inquiry had been publicly announced, we received an email from the same journalist saying he was running an article about a misappropriation of funds that we were under investigation by the regulator. My goodness. We explained it was an inquiry and not a conviction, and said we were more than happy for OSCR to review our accounts because we could prove we had done nothing wrong. But of course, it didn't make any difference. The Mail on Sunday published its story. Quote, Special Forces friend of Prince Harry probe over claims of financial irregularity after world record breaking ride that raised £500,000 for charity, end quote. Again, Harry in the headline. Our lives were collateral damage in the paper's campaign against the prince and his wife. And this time it was even worse for us because the paper was insinuating we had stolen money from the charity. Incidentally, this was the same reporter whose name later appeared above the baseless, false, and defamatory article about Harry for which the Mail on Sunday had to apologize and pay damages. As before, we knew that the truth was on our side. Our charity account had been thoroughly audited more than once, so we could show we hadn't stolen any money, misused expenses, or pocketed the £400,000. Okay, as for the cheating allegation, which were raked up again, we had the Guinness people do a second check of the record, which confirmed we acted within guidelines. But our voice was no match for a national tabloid, and the Mail on Sunday claim about us not only remain readily available and anyone who Google our names, but they also continue to be repeated widely on social media. My God, how vile these people are. This is a young family, young kids. Can you imagine this? These kids without any parents? I mean, young people, we need to vote and get these nasty people be punished for their nonsense. The article continued. The pressure was horrendous, and again, my mental health suffered. Eating disorder from the past resurfaced. I couldn't sleep, and I was now being treated for depression. Worse still, Dean and I were arguing on a regular basis. We were both in so much pain, and we didn't know how to resolve it. Everything depended on the OSCR. Only when they clear us of the allegation, as we were sure they must, will we be able to clear the air. And the thing is that when those allegation or investigation is being done, and when you know you're on the right side of history, of your truth, and you don't know who's the other end, who's doing the investigation. It could be their buddies who's doing that, and then said that, sided with their buddies and forget the truth. I mean, this kind of thing is very scary. So I could understand her. All right, the thing continued, the article continued. This was brought home to us when Dean's book was released, and media people told us they would not promote it while the inquiry was ongoing. But when will that happen? Okay, we waited 18 months. The OSCR inquiry was finally completed last December. Not one allegation of financial misconduct was upheld, and we were actually praised for raising so much money as a new charity. The only qualification in the verdict was that we were giving new management guidelines to help us in the future. This was vindication in the face of all the online smear and Mail on Sunday attacks. They were proven wrong. Did the paper report this? Of course not. And for those young people also who are on social media, who's new, or whatever it may be, whether you're new on social media, but think of yourself, all right? Because the table can easily turn. So you have to be careful of who you support, who you follow, and when someone starts saying some negative thing, make sure you know the fact. My goodness. All right, appalling experience. Okay, it has been an appalling experience, and I will not wish it on anyone. Look at that, I didn't even know that. Okay, all along, I have listened to people I thought wiser and more experienced who said it was better not to fight back. No, sometimes you need to fight back. When you have nothing to lose, when your mental health is at stake, you have nothing to lose. So it's to fight back. All right, that if we did. Okay, if we did it, will only make things worse. See, this is what they expect from people. This is what they expect from people, to give up. Look how they went after Meghan. My goodness, I don't think that way now. I have changed. I now understand that I was intimidated while the public was misled. I have seen what others have been through. For example, Meghan Markle and Caroline Flack. I always put Caroline Flack as my example. Okay? Caroline Flack was always my example. I didn't even know her. But when I saw some headlines here and there, and I put one and one together, and I did a slight little research about her, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Okay? I always put her as my example. And there she mentioned it. Okay, Meghan Markle and Caroline Flack. And it is vile and cruel. It has nothing whatsoever to do with freedom of the press we keep hearing about. All right, they lie, they distort, they bully, and they exploit social media to do their dirtiest work. The only answer I now believe is to fight back, to show people what these papers do and what they are preparing to do to anyone. That's the thing here, to anyone, no matter how innocent. We must all speak up. Only that way can we put an end to this abuse of power. And then that is true. And this is exactly what Meghan did. Once they start telling her about the copyright, because I told you, this was the only thing she had on them, and she had to fight back. Okay, once she knows she's in the right parameter of the law, okay, I think she just black everything. She just black everything, and then, make her lawyer file her thing. All right, when things popped up and then they bring it, let's say a question pop up and the lawyer asked Meghan, did this happen? Meghan was like, nope. She gave her truth and she went on her business. All right, I think I've said this before. I need to learn to meditate. This is something I really need to do. I did it once and it was kind of scary, to tell you the truth. But once you get to the use of meditation and then you black out the noise, okay, you should be on your way to do the good thing, to fight the battle that you are in the right path of the truth. All right, my goodness, a young family like that, including Harry. And she's a smart lady to start putting things together to see, whether her husband or not was cheating. I mean, that could have destroyed the family. This is very sad. Very, very sad. So she put that on social media. I'll put the link in the description and hope you guys share it. And I pretty much read it, but the link is in the description. This is very sad and disgusting too at the same time, for these people to keep on get away with that. My goodness. Thanks for watching. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share.